Multiple workshops were held throughout the day concerning many topics, going from autism to immigration. Let's take a look firsthand at the conference and see how some of the workshops went. May 21st, 2009, we're here at Southern Connecticut State University, the Prejudice Reduction Conference for Human Relations Club. Let's go take a look inside. From 8 to 8:45, students from around the state filed into the Lyman Center, waiting for the conference to begin. Nightlife, a band made of members of Hamden High School, performed at the opening. After the band were the opening remarks, starting with co-president Scott Earl.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 18th Annual Prejudice Reduction Conference, Be the Change, Create a Better Tomorrow for the World Today. My name is Scott Earl, and as this year's co-president, I would like to thank you all for coming on behalf of all those responsible for putting on this event. I would just give a few thank yous first. Thank you to all our steering committee who made this event a reality, for their continued dedication to our conference. Thanks to our advisors, Elizabeth Zapp and Christopher Thomas, and also last year's Vice President, Nisha Tuttle, who unfortunately was not in the booklet. We all wish for today to have open minds and the willingness to learn something new from our great speakers today. And we hope that you can take this information back to your communities in order to reduce prejudice, break barriers, and promote acceptance.
After some brief announcements from two of the three conference coordinators, Shannon Perkins and Aubrey Marino, was a greeting by the Board of Ed and Superintendent.
This is a wonderful opportunity for all of you, and the Hamden Board of Education is so proud to support this cause every single year.
One of the things that gives me great pleasure always is to speak to a group of students who will be tomorrow's leaders. You will shape the world, and anything that you can hear to appreciate better the diversity that we have in our world today will certainly be of help to you as you go out to shape the world that we have.
Cassie Webb, the third coordinator of this event, spoke about the purpose of the conference.
If you look at your logo, you'll see that there's a world with delta signs around it representing change. And we know that everyone in God's Word can do something that they can change. They can change their community, they can make a small impact on the world. We want to make sure that you take something from this conference today, you can apply it to your community and try to change, because we know you all can make a difference.
AMITY High student Sivan Battat wrote and directed a play about the Darfur genocide. The play was performed, followed by a question and answer session.
The piece you're going to see today is entitled Forever Running. The show is entirely student-run and created and features 6 student actors from ECA, 1 student stage manager, and student-written and performed music.
Welcome to your afterlife, Connie. Afterlife. I was running. Running! I am always running. You were running.
I too run. Years of running, chasing, running a never-ending cycle of death and destruction. I'm winning. Our world of those who aren't heirs. They don't deserve to live. I'm running to redeem the people of their wrong ways.
This year's keynote address was by Tim Salem. He and his students talked about Darfur and the documentary they created.
In teaching this course, I had 3 sections, so anywhere between 80 and 90 students in those 3 sections. And when I brought the information on Darfur back to them, all of them expressed similar shock and horror that here is this conflict a year into it, and no one really knows much about it. And one thing that became abundantly clear to us right from the outset were the sheer numbers coming out of Darfur. At this particular time, this was in October of 2005, The numbers out of Darfur at that juncture were over 200,000 people have been killed and millions more have been displaced from their homes. Now when you hear those numbers, 200,000 people, millions, it's a large number. But how do we connect people to those numbers? And what we thought was, if we could create a visual representation to attach to those numbers, maybe we could draw people in on an emotional level if they could actually see what's happening in Darfur. And so our catchphrase became, how can we turn apathy into empathy?
The group made 2 documentaries and shared them both with the audience.
The study of history teaches us to learn from the mistakes of the past in order to prevent future occurrences. Yet mankind has not yet applied this theory to the concept of genocide.
When I heard about the genocide that's occurring in Darfur, I didn't know exactly how to feel. I thought, when I think of genocide, I think of the Holocaust or things that happened a long time ago. I never thought that genocide could be occurring today.
The world promised never again in the aftermath of the Holocaust. The monstrous inhumanity was unfathomable. 60 years later, our children are still wondering when. When will the lesson be learned?
After the documentaries, the students shared information on the genocide. That concluded the morning opening ceremony, and after that, students were able to choose workshops of the topic of their choice. More on that later in the show.